Hey everybody, JT and
Mubin
here from Play on Tabletop with Marvel Crisis Protocol. We've been having a lot of fun playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we can't wait to bring it to you.
And together we will be presenting a basic overview of the game and helping to our players go through a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol.
In Marvel Crisis Protocol, you will assemble a team of heroes and villains pulled from the Marvel Universe. With your opponent, you will collaboratively set up a mission and choose crises that will inform you how to play the game, how to set up the game, and how to score points. No matter which ones you guys choose, 16 points wins the game.
In this How to Play video, we will be using the Earth's Mightiest Core set, which in my opinion is one of the best starter sets out there. It comes with so many awesome models and just about everything you need to just start playing the game.
We're also going to be using dice from this video's sponsor, Baron of Dice, and terrain from Tabletop Terrain. Both sponsors make absolutely amazing products that can only enhance your gameplay, and we highly encourage you to check them out. Like McDowell's Donuts. I got a donut shop, isn't that cool?
It's awesome, you have a donut shop.
Space Marine Steve's Pizza, Tax Otherworldly Comics, Tycho's Burgers. Yeah, Tabletop Terrain, Baron of Dice. Absolutely fantastic, and thank you guys for sponsoring this series. Let's go over what you need to play a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Mubin.
You'll need miniatures to play with, and they come unassembled, on sprue, ta-da, and then you build them, prime them, paint them. And we've been having a ton of fun just taking characters that we love, building them, painting them up, and then getting them on the table.
You're gonna need some terrain as well, and the game does come with terrain, but of course we've got our terrain here from Tabletop Terrain. The cool thing about Marvel Crisis Protocol is the terrain is interactive. So Hulk can pick up buildings and throw them. Magneto can smash them to give his team more power. It's really, really cool. I love it when Hulk picks stuff up and throws it at his enemies, like a bus.
Or a donut.
Or a donut. You can throw the donut, yes, that's really cool. Throwing buildings, picking up buildings, smashing enemies. In order to understand that, you need to know what your characters can do, and you do that by reading the stat card. The nice thing about the stat cards is the developers have really captured the essence of the characters on every one of these stat cards.
Spider-Man is swinging into action, flinging webs, doing his thing.
Flip,
yeah, he's doing his flip, he's climbing walls. It's fantastic.
Ultron, he creates drones when you smash buildings, takes the rubble and makes new drones. All of this stuff is on the stat card of the character.
In order to unleash your character's powers and their attacks, you're gonna roll special dice.
Each of the 8-sided dice has some unique symbols on them. There are 2 hit symbols. One face is a block. There are 2 blanks. There's 1 skull, which cannot be re-rolled for any reason unless you have a very specific rule. There is 1 wild, and there is 1 critical. The critical is interesting because that actually lets you roll another dice. In order to do attacks, you have to reference your attack stack, which is a physical attack, mystic attack, or energy attack. And then you have physical defense, mystic defense, and energy defense. Go figure, they coincide. As an example, Iron Man's Repulsor Mark II is an energy attack that uses 5 dice. Red Skull has a defending energy characteristic of 3 dice. 5 dice versus 3 dice. Pretty simple. The other thing you need is measuring tools.
There are 2 types of measuring tools to measure your distances. You have a range tool, and you've got a movement tool.
Range tools measure the distance an attack or superpower can reach. Ranges are in 2, 3, 4, and 5, with the width of them being a 1, which is important for holding objectives and interacting with things. And then you have movement, which is short, medium, and long. As an example, Captain America moves medium, and you can see on his stat card. To move Captain America, you place the movement tool touching his base, and then Captain America can be moved to any point along that movement tool, including right to the very end of it. Crossbones is a little bit slower, so he moves a short. Winter Soldier's Spec Ops rifle has a range of 5. That means he can hit targets from a pretty decent distance away. Not a lot of attacks in Marvel Crisis Protocol are range 5. The Red Agent, one of his other attacks, is only range 3.
In the Earth's Mightiest Core set, you'll actually come with a game tracker, which allows you to keep track of the round, as well as your score and your opponent's score, in order to keep track of your progress in the game.
Along with the stat cards, there are grunt cards, which lets you understand your grunt abilities. There are also team tactic cards, which lets you do special abilities or special cinematic moments. And there are crisis cards. Crisis cards let you know how you set up the mission and how you score.
Tokens are used to keep track of things like energy, stamina, and special status effects.
Damage tokens are used to keep track of your character's stamina, and when your character has accumulated damage equal to their stamina, they are dazed or KO. Power tokens are used to keep track of the power your character has to spend on things like superpowers and abilities. There are a plethora of tokens for status effects as well. The only thing not included is the play area, which is played on a 36 by 36 inch space. Basically, your kitchen table works. That's everything you need to play. We're gonna go over deployment and playing the game in the demo section of the video. However, before we get there, I think it would be great to go over what a character's stat card actually means and how to use actions. What I first noticed and what I really love about this game is that a character stat card has two sides.
Yeah, you've got a healthy side, and then you've got an injured side.
As you are attacked and take damage, you gain power. Which means even though you're getting beat down, you're getting powered up.
Once you've been wounded to the point where you have no stamina left, you'll flip over to the injured side. Once you're on the injured side, you know, which could be a bad thing if it happens early, but it's also a good thing because you get power. You can use that power and go out in a blaze of glory.
And if you're wounded to the point where you have no stamina on your injured side, you're out of the game.
Yeah, you're KO'd, you're removed from the game, and the rest of your team has to do all the work for you.
Let's go over the stat card. The character name is found here along with their alter ego. This core set comes with the Invincible Iron Man, whose alter ego is Tony Stark. The original starter set came with Iron Man, whose alter ego is also Tony Stark. You cannot have two of the same character and two of the same alter egos in your squad. Some Team Tactic cards specifically name the alter ego and thus are open to being used by multiple characters that share the same alter ego. Below the name you will find defense types. The red fist icon denotes physical, the yellow swirl denotes energy, and the blue eye icon denotes mystic. Beside the health monitor icon is your stamina. A character can accumulate wounds up to their total stamina before being dazed or KO'd. This here is the character's threat level used for creating a squad. This is character size. Size is used to determine line of sight and how a character can move through and interact with terrain. This double arrow icon denotes speed. This is how far a character can move. Use the corresponding movement tool to advance your character around the battlefield. On this side of the stat card, we have attacks, superpowers, and in the case of affiliation leaders, we have leadership, which is the character's leadership ability that can affect the whole squad. Superpowers are broken down into three types: active, reactive, and innate. Innate means they're always available to use and don't use an action. Reactive will require specific triggers to activate. Active superpowers, you can only use those on your turn. Some of them also require an action to do. Active Team Tactic cards, also some of those will require an action to play. When you activate a character, they will have access to doing two actions normally. These actions include move, attack, shake. Move determines where you can move around the battlefield, and it also has something to do with climbing. That's a little different.
Your distance any of your characters can move is based on the move characteristic on the card.
So short, medium, long.
Correct. Now, when you're trying to actually climb a building, unless you have special abilities like the wall crawler ability or flight, you actually have to perform a climb. You're actually climbing a wall.
You can't move fast when you're climbing.
No, it's going to slow you down. Your movement gets reduced to a short so that it indicates that you're climbing onto the building.
And because all of the movement in Marvel Crisis Protocol is based on a top-down view, you place the marker, you move along that marker. So if you're next to a building and want to climb it, place the short, and then that's how far up the building you can move. The action that is probably the one that's the most fun is the attack action.
Oh yeah.
On your character card, it's going to tell you what that attack is, what its range is, what its dice are, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or if it costs any power to do it, because you know you want that power for that big boom.
The character's been afflicted with incinerate, or shock, or bleed. You can spend an action to shake that effect. Let's go through a Captain America First Avenger activation here. Captain America is not in range of his arch nemesis Red Skull to attack. Let's say Captain America currently has 3 power available to him that he's built up over the course of the game. For Captain America's first of 2 actions, he's going to spend 2 of his 3 power to use his superpower, Charge. Charge is an action that allows Captain America to immediately make a move action followed by an attack action. It's important to note this action has a restriction of being only used once per turn. We've essentially spent 2 power to give Captain America what we could say is a bonus action. Captain America moves his medium advance towards his target Red Skull, and this puts him in range to do shield bounce, one of his attacks. He cannot do Brooklyn Brawler as this requires 4 power to do, and at this juncture, Cap's got 1 power available. Shield bounce is what the community calls a builder. Builders are a type of attack that will gain the attacker power. A spender is a type of attack that expends power, and these often have a higher chance of dealing damage or special conditions as opposed to a builder attack. To do shield bounce, we check to ensure the enemy character we want to hit is within range, and the range is 3. Then we build a pool of 5 dice. This is the number beside the strength icon. The red fist denotes this is a physical attack, and Red Skull will gather a dice pool based on his physical defense. That's 4. How much damage can be inflicted on the target is determined by the differential of successes between these 2 dice pools. With both the attack dice and defense dice rolled, we now resolve any criticals. Captain America rolled a critical, so we can roll 1 more attack die into the pool. It's important to note that if you roll a critical at this stage, they do not allow you to roll another die into the pool. They do count as a success if rolled, however. Then we go to modifying dice. This includes things like rerolls if it's available to the characters. In this case, Captain America First Avenger has a leadership ability, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If there are 1 or more hit results in the attack roll, the character may spend 1 power, and if it does, it changes one of its results to any other result. So let's change one of these blanks to a wild by spending Captain America's last power. It's important to note that a skull or failure cannot be modified unless explicitly stated. Take a look here at the roll and calculate successes and failures. Captain America has a critical, 2 hits, 2 failures, and a wild in his roll. The critical, hits, and wild all count as successes. Red Skull rolled a wild, a block, a hit, and a blank in his roll. The block and wild count as successes. The hit, while a success if this was an attack, does not count as a success in defense. Captain America has 4 successes in his roll, and Red Skull has 2 successes in his roll. Captain America has 2 more successes than Red Skull, so his attack inflicts 2 damage to Red Skull. At this step, we will resolve effects that say before damage is dealt, which we have none. Then we apply damage. Red Skull takes 2 damage and gains 2 power. When an enemy attack or effect inflicts damage, the character gains power equal to damage taken. As this was Captain America's builder attack, he gains 2 power as well. This means the attack is resolved and we can move to the final step of the attack sequence, resolve effects after attack. Now we look at shield bounce, the attack Cap just used. We see it as a rule, bounce, if we got the triggers. In this case, needing a wild and a hit in the attack pool, we can then use bounce. Bounce is an additional shield bounce attack that will not cost an action, but has to hit another enemy character that is within 3 of the original target. Red Skull's not close to any of his allies, so bounce cannot be used. That was only one of 2 of Captain America's actions that he can do in his activation. Remember that while violence in a tabletop skirmish game is cool and all, this is a tactical game and points come from the mission objectives. Captain America is now going to use his second action to advance towards one of the mission objective tokens and interact with it. The interact does not cost an action, but does cost a power. Luckily, Captain America built up some power from his early attack and now has the power to interact with his objective to score points. With that, Captain America's got no superpowers he can do at this time and has expended his 2 actions, so we end his activation. Now the opposing player gets to activate and one of their characters can go. Marvel Crisis Protocol can be played up to 6 rounds, or 16 points. If you reach 16 points before the end of 6 rounds, that player wins the game.
Another way to win the game is actually taking out all of your opponent's characters. If you manage to KO all of them, you win.
So rounds are broken up into phases.
You've got the power phase, the activation phase, and the cleanup phase.
Power phase is step 1. All characters that are not KO'd gain 1 power. Then you resolve any player effects specific to the power phase.
Or if you have any tactic cards that can be used in the power phase as well.
After power phase, it's activation phase.
Yeah, and going into the activation phase, it goes to the player with priority. They get to pick a character and activate and take a turn with them. You alternate back and forth. You both get to play with, well, whichever your characters haven't been dazed and KO'd. And then once you're done activating all of them, off to the cleanup phase. In the cleanup phase, you start with priority. Whoever has priority, you get to score up your points. Any secure objectives that you're holding, as well as any extracts that you're holding. You'll add up based on what your card tells you how to score, and then you follow it along with the tracker.
And then any effects are resolved. If any character has the daze token, you remove wounds from that character, flip their stat card over, they go back to whatever their stamina is on that card, and then they retain any power that they had. But then you remove all of the activated tokens in preparation for the next round, and then move the mission tracker to the next round, and away you go.
Yep.
The rulebook for Marvel Crisis Protocol is available in the core set, is also online at Atomic Mass Games website. Stat cards and crisis cards, they're also available online. We really hope that this overview kind of helps you understand how the game plays and some of the key concepts.
I'm excited to be playing the demo game. We get to bring Nick in, and I get to teach him how to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. It's going to be a blast.
I think he's going to have fun.
He's going to have a blast.
Literally.
Before we get into the demo game, let me tell you about the 2 incredible sponsors that help bring this entire series of Marvel Crisis Protocol content to life. We've been collaborating with Baron of Dice for years now, in part because they have an incredible catalog of dice for a wide assortment of games, including this one. We believe dice tell stories and think you will enjoy telling your own stories with Baron of Dice. Check out the comic book section of their web store to find a dice set that will go perfectly with your favorite superheroes or supervillains. Use our affiliate link for a bit off your order, and hey, it helps us out too. While dice tell stories, so do the battlefields. Great terrain creates great games, and we're so happy to be collaborating with Tabletop Terrain. They worked with Corvus Games, who designed some of the terrain used in this video and applied the Play On touch. By the way, a Play On Tabletop building pack is available on their web store if you too want to throw McDowell's Donuts or Tycho's Burgers. Tabletop Terrain has terrain for a wide variety of games and genres. From sci-fi to fantasy to comic books, Tabletop Terrain will have what you need to create a stage for your epic games. Use the affiliate link for a bit of discount on your order. Now let's watch the demo game from Nick and Mubin.
S for superheroes.
Yes, we're here to play MCP. You excited, Nick?
I am very excited. I played one practice game, but this is the first time ever playing this game, really.
We are gonna walk you through today, and actually, I'm gonna walk you through today on a full game of MCP.
Ooh, I like superheroes.
Yep.
I like tabletop war games.
Yep.
I like you, Mubin. I'm excited for this game.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, the big question is, do you like exploding?
Yes? Do I get to throw things too?
I don't know if you get to throw things, but I might get to throw things. We're gonna see, but we'll get to that. To start off a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol, or as MCP we're gonna call it, we're gonna roll dice.
What dice do I get to roll?
Special 8-sided dice that we use specifically for MCP. For priority roll,
Yeah.
we're gonna roll 5 dice, and then we're gonna compare it. Whoever has the most criticals, hits, and wilds, so criticals will say crit,
I'm guessing that's a hit.
yep, and then we've got wilds, which are basically the swirls.
Woo!
Please don't spin yourself too much, you will get dizzy. Let's see how this goes. Into the box.
I missed one. 2 hits, no criticals, and no wilds.
I've only got the 1 hit, which means you, sir, have priority.
Yay!
You get to choose whether you want to pick secure crisis cards or extract crisis cards. Secures are pretty much like objective markers like we're used to, where they'll be on the board, you go there, you hold it, and you have to be within a certain range to hold it, which is 1, which is short edge of any of your measuring tools. The extracts are objective markers that'll be on the table that you can use a superhero to interact with and then pick it up. You get to choose which of the 2 you want to pick, and then I get to choose the threat level, which is the maximum points we get to play with, or threat level.
Today's Secure Crisis is going to be Infinity Formula Goes Missing. The Infinity Formula Goes Missing will score 1 victory point for each serum canister that a player secures during the cleanup phase. And during the power phase, characters contesting a serum canister will gain 1 power. And our extract crisis will be Struggle for the Cube Continues. Struggle for the Cube scores players 1 victory point for each cube fragment held by a character they control in the cleanup phase. In addition, for each cube fragment that a character holds, they will take 1 damage and gain power equal to the damage dealt to them.
Now that we've drawn and we've selected our missions here, we have the maps on the bottom of the cards where we get to set up our objective markers.
We've got objectives down, we've got things to do, we've got to secure that formula and get the cube. Search for the cube.
Leave my cube alone.
My cube.
No, mine. You're gonna be the blue cube, I got the red cube for scoring.
And now that we've chosen our teams, through the magic of editing, wow, magic editing.
I decided on a threat level of 17, which means we get to create our squads of up to 17 threat level. For my squad, I've got Ultron, Red Skull, Baron Zemo, and the Winter Soldier.
We've chosen 4 characters for my team here. I've got Captain America with his mighty shield. I've also got Iron Man. And then I've also got Black Widow. And then I've actually got 2 miniatures for Captain Marvel because she can be like super powered.
Yeah, she gets a binary form. Once you get enough power on her, she goes supercharged.
She has been activated. I see a little star ability here. What's that?
That is your leadership ability. When you create a squad, you get to choose an affiliation. Now, in your case, you have the Avengers.
Yes!
So you can use Steve Rogers' Avengers affiliation leadership ability.
Captain America's leadership ability is once per turn. If 1 or more hits are scored on an attack, they can spend a power to flip a die to any other result.
I've got a lot of Cabal on my side, so I've actually gone with Red Skull as his leadership ability.
Red Skull's ability is that once per turn, a non-grunt allied character can change 1 failure roll of a skull into a critical hit. After that attack's resolved, they must spend 1 power, and if they cannot do so, they will take 1 damage. Some powerful dice manipulation mechanics for these 2 leaders should make for an interesting game.
We've got our mission set. We've got the table set.
It's beautiful. Well done.
Great.
I love what Tycho did with the paint job. I love what the company did with the buildings. I'm especially in love with the Nick Was Here graffiti.
Little explosions.
Next, we have to deploy our troops, I'm assuming?
Yep. Now, to deploy your superheroes, we're going to alternate. Starts with you because you still have priority. You're going to use your range 3 measuring tool, put it to the back of your deployment zone.
Got it.
And you can deploy anywhere along that line.
I'm going to start with Black Widow, and Black Widow's going to go over here, just outside of the subway entrance, because that's how she got to the battlefield. Everyone else can fly.
Then it goes to me. Bucky is going to come out from behind this tree and show up.
Next, Iron Man. He didn't want anyone to know, but he was grabbing donuts.
I don't blame him. They look like they're good donuts. Ultron. We're gonna stick him right back here. He's looking for pizza in comics. I don't blame him.
Little did you know that you decided to have this incursion right beside Steve Rogers' house. He lives right in this apartment right here.
Ah, he lives in Tycho's Burgers.
Yeah, in the top floor.
Yeah. Okay, check. We are going to take the Red Skull and place him down here. He's just walking down the street. Don't mind him.
Captain Marvel, she's trying to develop a new alter ego. She actually has been driving a pizza delivery van in her spare time.
Last, but definitely not the least, we are going to take Baron Zemo. He's going to back up the Red Skull. Now, Ultron does have drones. However, they don't get to join the table or the party yet. So the drones will hide. We're deployed, which means round 1, let's go.
Round 1, everybody gains a single point of power, so at least you start with something.
Power phase, we've given all our characters a power. We're all stocked up, ready to go, which means we go to the first activation.
Black Widow's gonna go first, and she's got the long movement, so she's just gonna move up, and then she's gonna interact with the fragment of the cube.
She spends a power to pick up a cube fragment, so she's out of power now, and moves again to take cover behind that bus.
Now that you've activated, we usually put down an activation token next to her, so that you know you've already done it.
She has been activated.
My activation is going to be Red Skull.
Red Skull moves a medium and picks up a cube for 1 power,
The cube.
then moves again to get cover. No power left.
Behind the ambulance.
Now, is it true line of sight? Like, is he sticking out there? Can I see him?
All of our terrain has size. If you're using terrain that doesn't have a size associated with it, you can agree with your opponent and decide on what sizes things should be. Most of the time, things like the larger food trucks or the ambulances are size 3s. Smaller buildings will be 2s. Things like the dumpsters will be 2s. Bigger buildings like Tycho's Burger Joint or our Play On Studio will be a size 4 or a size 5. Now, the way this works is because this is a size 3 and I'm a size 2, you can't see me past that.
Next, let's go with Iron Man. He has flight, so he can just fly and ignore this terrain.
Iron Man moves twice to get in range of the Infinity Serum. He still has 1 power remaining. Winter Soldier moves up, grabs a cube,
Good old Bucky.
then shuffles to be in range of another serum. He's out of power.
Well, then it's my turn, and I'm gonna go with Captain America.
Captain America double moves and spends his power to pick up a cube fragment.
You notice that he's as far away from Bucky as possible?
Baron Zemo has moved to get near an Infinity Serum, still 1 power remaining. Captain Marvel moves up to support Black Widow. She's still got 1 power remaining.
She's also gonna be on the serum to get that power build up.
Ultron double moves as well, spends a power, and picks up a cube fragment.
You don't have any other superheroes to activate.
Nope.
I've got no other characters to activate, so that means now we go into the cleanup phase. First, we want to score up points.
Nick scores 2 points for the Secure Crisis, which is contesting Infinity Serum locations, and 2 points for the Extract Crisis, struggle for the cube to take him to 4. Mubin scores 2 points for the Secure Crisis, contest Infinity Serum locations, and the Extract Crisis he scores 3, the struggle for the cube.
Now we're going to go into the effects of our crisis cards.
Black Widow and Captain America both take a damage from the cube fragment they hold and will gain 1 power. Ultron, Red Skull, and Winter Soldier also all take a damage and gain a power from their cube fragments.
And then finally, Nick, we get to take off all the activated tokens off of our characters.
So check marks go away, and now we go to the next turn where we can start activating them again.
Because you had priority initially, and you did not activate the last character, you still hold on to priority.
It's 5-4 for Mubin at the end of round 1.
You've still got priority, Nick, so let's go through your power phase first.
Every hero will gain 1 power during the power phase, as well as in this scenario, 1 extra power for each Infinity Serum location that they contest. Black Widow starts at 1 and gains 2 this phase to go to 3 total. Iron Man starts at 1, gains 2, he's now up to 3. Captain America starts at 1, gains 2, goes to 3. And Captain Marvel also at 1, gains 2, and goes to 3.
Over to me.
Mubin gains 1 on Red Skull, he's to 2. Baron Zemo starts at 1, gaining 2 to go to 3. Ultron is now at 2. Winter Soldier starts at 1, gains 2, and goes to 3.
You have priority, so you got first activation again.
I'm gonna start my activation by activating Captain Marvel. Using one of my fancy cards, I'm gonna activate Avengers Assemble. Anybody that wants to use it can spend 1 power, and if they spend that power, they can make a short movement. Captain Marvel is gonna start it off by spending 1 of her 3 power, going down to 2 power to allow her to make a short movement, which because of her flight, will allow her to go up here and now see Ultron. From my understanding, if I've got this right, because that didn't count as one of her moves, she still now has 2 actions.
She still has 2 actions, but before you move on to the rest of her activation, you can still choose to spend power with the rest of your characters and move them now.
Excellent. I will do so. Captain America is also going to spend 1 of his 3 power, and Captain America is going to move away from Ultron.
Come fight me.
Black Widow also is going to use this ability. She has 3 power. She's going to spend 1, and she's also going to make a short movement.
Zoom.
Iron Man is not going to spend his power to be able to do the Avengers Assemble.
Look, he's just hanging out and enjoying his donuts.
Time for an actual action now.
Captain Marvel! I'm going to then try to kill Ultron twice.
No, that's not very nice of you.
And Captain Marvel is using her builder, her Sonic Boom. It's a range 3 with 6 dice physical, and Ultron's physical defense is 4.
After this attack resolved, I get power equal to the amount of damage dealt.
Ooh.
In addition, it's concussive, which means if I get any wilds, I'm going to take away 1 of your power.
Oh no.
See if I hit you. I got a critical, a hit, another hit, and a wild. Now this does nothing, that's a defense.
That's a block, so that's not gonna apply for your hit roll here.
Okay.
You got a crit.
Yep.
Which means you get to roll another dice and add it to the pool.
Here we go. I got 1 more hit. I did 5 damage to you, however you blocked 1.
Which means I'll take 4 damage.
Nick's gonna gain 4 power to go to 6 for the damage done. Mubin is gonna gain 4 power on Ultron to go to 6 as well. However, concussive from the Sonic Boom will remove 1 of those, so Ultron is at 5.
I haven't done a second action yet. I can just do the same attack again.
Absolutely.
Let's do it again.
Oh no.
Sonic Boom! Hurrah! I got a critical, which means I get to another dice here.
Yes.
So I got another critical. Does that proc again?
No.
Dice are compared, and Ultron blocks them all.
With seeing that, I'm going to use the Earth's Mightiest Hero Affiliation Avengers ability to spend 1 of Captain Marvel's 6 power to adjust a hit roll to whatever I want. And I'm going to adjust it to a wild, because I'm not getting through your defense anyways, but I will get rid
Take
of
1
1
of
of
my
your
power. No.
Ultron is down to 4 power, and Captain Marvel is at 5 after that series.
But I feel like that was pretty decent.
It did some damage. You
Okay.
made Ultron angry.
Yeah.
He has some power, and he's probably gonna throw a bus at you now.
The bus that I'm standing on currently?
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
He's going to spend 3 of his power, going down to 1, and he's going to use Kinetic Field Generator. He has to pick up a piece of terrain that is size 4 or less, and he gets to throw it immediately. And he's got 1 very lovely target right in front of him. So we're going to pick up the bus.
So you're picking the bus that I'm on and then hucking it at me? I'm kind of imagining you just picking up like a sword and just smashing it down.
Pretty much. Now that I've thrown a piece of terrain at you, you have to make a dodge roll. We agreed that this would be a size 3 piece of terrain, which means when a piece of terrain is thrown at you, you take damage equal to the size of the terrain plus 1. Pick your physical defense.
Which is 4. Let's see.
Don't do it.
I blocked
Oh,
all 4.
you blocked all 4.
She just dodged. She doesn't care about your bus.
Probably just cut it in half.
Yeah.
The real reason I wanted to do this wasn't so that I could do damage to you. It was so I could actually bring in my Ultron drones.
Oh, how does that work?
These are grunts.
Yeah.
They get to work alongside with Ultron.
Yeah.
And anytime an interactive terrain piece is destroyed, as long as there's no Ultron drones already on the table, I get to summon them in. You know what? We're gonna cause problems. They get to come in within range 3 of Ultron, and they're gonna pop in here. That was just a superpower. That wasn't even an action yet. Ultron's gonna go ahead and shoot Captain Marvel now. So we're gonna go with concussive blasters. This is an energy attack.
Ooh,
so you're gonna use your
okay.
energy defense here.
6 attack dice versus 4 defense dice on Captain Marvel. That's 3 successes, does 3 damage to her.
Now, because I did roll a wild in there, I have nano corruption kick in.
Ooh.
Can't poison her, but I can put the bleed status effect on her.
So because you did 3 damage to me, I'm going to gain 3 power on Captain Marvel.
Yep.
But I'm also going to gain an additional from the ability, you call that a punch? That brings Captain Marvel to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power.
That's fine. Ultron's about to knock her out of the sky.
Ultron will also gain power equal to the damage dealt, as that was a builder. He's back to 4.
We're gonna spend 4 power, and we're gonna use his extinction protocols.
Oh boy.
8 dice versus 4. Captain Marvel takes 4 damage.
She'll take 4 damage, bringing her stamina to 0.
I do just enough to daze her.
What does it mean that I'm dazed?
If you hadn't activated this character yet,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to activate your character. And you gotta wait until the cleanup phase to kind of shake it off, get back into the fight, and then go at it again. But this time, you're gonna be a little battered and beaten up.
That matches her at 10 power, plus
I get to push you a small.
that's also going to damage Black Widow and push her too.
So to push characters towards or away, you put down one of your movement tools, you bend it into a 90-degree angle. Now this model can be pushed anywhere in that direction. So I'm going to push her there. Ultron's done, but his drones aren't. They're a grunt unit, which means a grunt unit activates with their character they're attached
really?
to. Because they have the stagger condition, the first action they have to do is shake. And that means they only have one action left. I'm gonna attack Iron Man with an energy blast.
Iron Man! Ooh, I got one. No, I got
Ooh,
nothing.
They did good, they got 4.
Nick spends a power on I Am Iron Man to go down to 2, stops 1 damage, but he's going to gain 3 power and go up to 5 power.
Back over to you.
Captain America first, with his mighty shield. He's gonna use his 2 power that he has to charge, which is gonna allow him to move and then fight. So I am going to use this opportunity to go after Zemo. We're gonna shield bounce. Throw my shield at Baron Zemo. 5 dice for a shield bounce. Hoya!
Whoop, into the back. Critical. I blocked 3 of them.
I have a critical. Ooh. I've got my 3. You've blocked 3. I'm going to use Jarvis. It's Iron Man's ability. When another allied character within range 4 is attacking, during the modified dice step of the attack, this character may spend 1 to 3 power. For each power spent, the allied character may reroll 1 of its attack dice. Fortunately, because I rolled 2 skulls, they can't be modified, so I can only really spend 1 power. I got a damage through!
So you deal a damage to Zemo.
But I rolled a wild and a hit, so I bounce the attack. After this attack resolved, this character may make an additional shield bounce attack. The additional attack must target another character within 3.
There's a red skull right there.
I did much better.
I did not do as good. I only got 2 this time.
Rerolling a dice again from Iron Man. He's down to 3 power at Iron Man, but it doesn't help.
That's going to put Red Skull at 3 wounds remaining and 4 power total.
And I still have 1 activation. So let's do this whole thing all over again. And
no.
So I basically bounce around, ping pong style. Tung, 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 tung. He catches his shield again and throws it again at Baron Zemo.
See about that.
Oh, no effect. 2 more power from Jarvis here. 1 more damage to Baron Zemo again, even with his Strategic Genius reroll.
He only has 3 stamina left.
I almost got him. Your turn.
Baron Zemo was not happy about that.
Oh, of course you wouldn't be.
He's not happy at all. He's going to spend 3 of his power because you're within range, and he's going to use his coup de grace attack. We both have line of sight to each other here.
Yep.
However, you're hiding behind a piece of terrain, so you're going to have cover on this.
I'm going to use Perfect Block as a superpower. It spends 2 of his 4 power. He's down to 2 power left. Captain America will now get 2 extra dice for his defensive roll. Grabs a shield that already has your blood on it. Just does one of these.
You're not blocking. But yeah.
I block all of yours. You get nothing.
Now, because of my affiliation ability, my Cabal is only for the strong.
Yeah.
I get to treat a skull as a critical in my attack roll, which means I get to roll an extra dice for
All
it.
right, see if it helps you.
Yeah. It does, but there's a downside to this, is once this is resolved, I have to lose a power. And if I don't lose a power, I have to take damage. I got 5 successes to Nick's 4.
I know, that was a good roll.
1 whole damage from my beefy attack.
So that means he has 4 stamina left, and he's gonna take another power because he took a damage, which means he goes up to 3 power.
For Zemo's second action, he is going to take an adhesive X-pistol attack at you.
Cap uses Perfect Block again for 2 power. He's down to 1.
Let's go!
Mubin gets 3 successes to do 2 blocks. Nick takes 1 damage on Cap. He's got 3 stamina remaining,
I also inflict slow,
so his movement is a short now.
and I also inflict stun.
He can only gain 1 power anytime he would do so, regardless of how much he gets hit for.
Next, we're gonna go with Iron Man. And he is going to first take his repulsor Mark II shots and go right into the gaggle of Ultronites. Hoorah!
Defend!
I got 2.
It'll be 2 damage, but first, a push. Tactic card now for Repulsor Refraction, allowing Ricochet Rampage. Both Cap and Iron Man have to spend a power.
I'm gonna bounce off Captain America's shield into Sergeant Nemo.
Baron Zemo.
He's being demoted. And I'm gonna see if I can daze him right here. Here we go. Oh, I did very good. All of them.
I blocked 1 reroll because I'm a strategic genius.
Hey, hold on. I have a critical. Explodes. He takes 3 damage and is dazed.
But he's up to 4 power.
Iron Man says, see? If you can't get the job done, Captain America, I can.
Good old Red Skull. He's going to spend 3 power on his superpower, Reshape the World. He picks up the ambulance and throws it at Captain America.
I love it.
Steve gets to make a dodge roll here,
I get 4 dice,
and there's 4 damage incoming. Let's see how much you can block.
2 damage goes through.
Cap dodges, gains only 1 power because he is slow, but he's at 2 power and 1 stamina remaining.
For his first action, he's going to choose his Cosmic Burst. Before he shoots, though, he gets to choose whether it's an energy or a mystic attack. And because you have a weaker mystic defense on Captain, we're gonna make it a mystic attack here.
Nick with perfect block yet again, adding 2 defense dice, and he blocks all of the damage.
Hey, look, I did get a wild in there. That makes me happy. More status effects for you. So now he's going to shock him.
That's gonna give him 1 less attack dice when he attacks. That said, I don't think Cap's got long to worry.
He's shocked at how stunned he is, and he's stunned at how slow he is.
We're gonna do it again, because that's my
Let's do it
second
again.
action. The Cosmic Burst
3 dice to defend.
to my 5.
That is enough, and he is dazed.
So I'm dazed. What happens to this thing I'm carrying?
Any objective tokens that you're holding get dropped.
No.
And your opponent gets to decide where they go. Thanks, Nick. When your opponent's choosing to drop the objective marker, it has to be within 2 of the character that was just dazed or KO'd.
Red Skull then spends a power to pick it up.
So now it's up to Black Widow. Black Widow has 4 power, just enough to do her special move. We're gonna move first, and she moves a whopping along here. I will be able to do Deadly Origins for all 4 of her power. This is gonna give me 7 dice. Here we go! I didn't get...
Only doing 1 damage. That takes Winter Soldier to 4 stamina remaining, but puts him up to 4 power. Widow's out of power and a 4 stamina left.
I've just got the Winter Soldier left. We're gonna spend 3 power, and we're going to use the Red Agent.
Because they're within 2, blanks actually count as successes for me. I got 4! I got all 4!
Oh!
I take no damage!
That first attack didn't do so well, so we're just gonna shoot you with our Spec Ops rifle.
Widow's martial artist keeps her from taking any damage. Winter Soldier at 1 power remaining. On to the cleanup phase now. Widow takes 1 damage. She's down to 3 stamina, but up to 1 power. Red Skull takes 2 damage. He's at 1 stamina, but 3 power. 1 damage. He's down to 2 stamina, gains 1 power. He's at 1. The Winter Soldier takes 1 damage. He's down to 3 stamina and up to 2 power. Nick will score 1 victory point on the Secure Crisis and 1 victory point on the Extract Crisis to take him to 6. Mubin scores 1 victory point on the Secure Crisis, takes him to 3 there, but 4 on the Extract Crisis, struggle for the cube. That makes our score 10 to 6 at the end of round 2 on to turn 3.
Turn 3 now. I get to go first, I have priority again.
Power phase now, Black Widow goes up to 3, Iron Man goes to 4, Captain America goes to 2, and Captain Marvel can't gain any more as she's maxed out at 10. Red Skull gains 3 to go to 4, Baron Zemo goes to 6, Ultron goes to 2, and the Winter Soldier goes to 4.
Activation stage?
Absolutely.
Nick is going to use a tactic card here, Stark Armory. That's going to give characters within the range specified extra dice on attack.
I'm gonna spend 3 of his power.
In this case, Iron Man and Cap will gain 3 extra attack dice.
And let's start with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. The first thing she's gonna do is... she's going to become the binary version. I switch her card with the better one, and she now has way stronger abilities.
She's super strong now, and a new model. Woohoo, that's cool.
I'm in danger.
She's moving using Ready or Not.
So after you've made your advance move closer to Bucky, he's not happy. He's gonna spend 3 of his power on a reactive superpower, Kill Box. I'm gonna destroy this building. You basically have to make a dodge roll as if the building was thrown at you.
What?
She blocks none of it, gets 4 damage, 3 wounds left. Now she gets to shoot Ultron with Warbird, gets 8 dice, spending 3 power, down to 7 power.
This is an energy attack. Boom!
I did great.
Captain Marvel now teleports and gets to throw Ultron a small, thanks to the wild she rolled. Ultron gets thrown into the drones, Ultron takes 1 damage, and the drones have to roll a dodge.
I got him!
Boom.
Ultron's down to 1 stamina. Captain Marvel spending 3 power to Warbird again, targeting Ultron again, with 3 power left.
All right, Nick.
Oh, come on, guys!
He takes 1 damage and gains a power, but that will daze him. Captain Marvel now teleports closer to Red Skull. She's gonna use I'm just getting warmed up for 2 power.
To pick up the pizzeria and throw it at Red Skull.
No, why would you do such a thing? He has a whopping 1 stamina left. He does not make a dodge.
He's done.
Taking a damage is gonna daze Red Skull. He will gain a power and he'll drop the 2 cube fragments.
Well done, Carol. Well done.
Captain Marvel took out 3 targets. She's gonna spend her last power to pick up the cube fragment, out of power, and goes back to her normal self.
I'm gonna go with Baron Zemo. First, because we're getting really tired of this, Nick. I am a Baron after all.
He picks an ability that lets him reroll attack dice. Any result that's not a skull, effectively. He's gonna spend 2 power for Quick Step and moves up to Captain America.
Next, he's gonna spend 3 power for coup de grace. He's gonna cut the grass, and he's absolutely attacking Captain America.
I'm gonna spend my only 2 power on Captain America for perfect block.
Cap spends 2 power for Perfect Block and uses I Can Do This All Day.
I block all of it. No, I don't. I did terrible, actually.
So I'm gonna take the critical.
Captain America blocks 2 and takes 4 damage, gaining 4 power. 1 stamina remaining.
I'm going to use a sword strike. Because I've already attacked you this turn, I get to add an additional 2 dice.
Cap spends 2 power for Perfect Block, and I Can Do This All Day, and again,
It's not enough.
Captain America blocks 5, but still takes enough damage to KO him. Baron stays where he is, spends the power to pick up the cube fragment. Nick does not have a leadership ability anymore.
So we'll go with Black Widow right now. She's gonna go Widow Stingers because it'll guarantee me at least 1 power from after this attack. Here we go.
Oh,
I
you
have
got
2
criticals.
So,
He takes 2 damage and gains the power because Bucky is stunned.
Widow Stingers gives me 1 extra power, so I'm gonna go up to 4 power, which is now enough to do my Deadly Origins.
Winter Soldier takes damage, he's dazed and drops his cube fragment. You know, for somebody who doesn't have superpowers, Black Widow's pretty badass.
So that means you have no activations left.
Nope, you dazed one of my only models left.
Iron Man is pissed that Captain America didn't do his job.
Because of Stark Armory, he's gonna get some more dice on his attack rolls. He's using Repulsor Mark II with 8 dice on the Baron.
Oh, baby.
I got 2.
3 criticals, which gives me another 1.
Iron Man pushes Baron away as small, and then he takes 4 damage and gains 4 power. 2 stamina left on Baron Zemo. Iron Man also gains 4 power as that was a builder.
I'm just gonna fire with his Repulsor Mark II once more. 3 criticals. I didn't get a wild.
There is no way for me to block enough damage here.
The Baron is KO'd, drops a cube fragment, and Iron Man gains 2 more power.
We're both down a hero now.
Cleanup phase.
Cleanup phase now. Captain Marvel gains a power and a damage. She's got 2 stamina remaining. And she is on her injured side, so she is in danger of being KO'd. Big turn for Nick on the scoreboard there. 2 points on the Secure Crisis takes him to 5 on that, and 2 more points on the Extract Crisis takes him to 5. He's at 10. Going into round 4, Mubin is actually in great position to close this one out if things go right.
All my characters now flip because they're dazed. So they're all on their injured sides now.
If I knock them out now, they're out.
With you activating the last model and having priority now flips to me.
Yes.
Power phase.
Black Widow goes to 3 power, Iron Man goes to 8, and Captain Marvel goes up to 2. Red Skull goes to 6, Ultron to 5, and Winter Soldier goes to 5.
Into activation, I'm going to start with Red Skull.
Red Skull is going to spend 2 power to use heavy firepower, adding dice to his attack roll.
I feel like this is going to be overkill, but we're going to go for the overkill.
He spends 4 power for Reality Bows to Me to target Iron Man with 9 dice.
Okay, not bad.
Ooh, I blocked none of them.
Ooh, Iron Man's dazed. He gets 3 power, puts him to 10, and Red Skull moves to an objective.
I'm gonna go with Black Widow. And she sees her fellow Avenger and says, I'm coming for you, girl.
Black Widow runs up to Captain Marvel. She's within 2 of Captain Marvel now, and that will allow her to spend 3 power using a tactic card called Patch Up. Captain Marvel's healed for 3 and has 5 stamina remaining. Black Widow then uses Shock Baton on Ultron.
No, leave Ultron alone.
Ultron takes 1 damage and gains a power. Black Widow gains 1 power as well. Ultron at 5 stamina left.
He's about to do some tyrannical things now. He's going to spend 4 of his power for Extinction Protocols. Just blasts you.
Targeting Captain Marvel, that's 8 dice.
What is that movement?
Pretty good.
That's really good.
I think we might have found my game.
Ultron throws Captain Marvel a short. Black Widow gets pushed, takes 1 damage, and gains a power because Ultron rolled a wild. Captain Marvel is KO'd.
Even with the healing, it wasn't enough. Black Widow goes up to 2 power because she took damage from when she got hit by Danvers.
And that was just his first attack. He's not even done yet. We're going to use an Encephalo Beam attack for 2 power, which allows me to pick an enemy character within range 3 and make them move a small. Ultron is going to use his concussion blasters into Black Widow.
So that was a brilliant move to push her. The whole point of it, you got me outside of 2, which means I can't use my martial arts ability to block the attacks.
Yup.
Energy attack. So I only got 3 dice. I had blocked none.
Oh, that's a lot.
Black Widow takes 5 damage and she is dazed. She's gonna get a power and Ultron will as well, but she drops her cube fragment.
But I get to choose where the cube goes. I have a special ability, which is all that matters in the mission, which means I get to choose where the cube goes.
No!
Which means I'm putting it as far away from Bucky as possible.
Winter Soldier moves up, spends a power to pick up a cube fragment.
Because of the stealth ability, he's just going to use a second action to move back here, get a little bit further away from Widow. That's his activation done. And that's the end of round 4.
Winter Soldier takes a damage, gains a power. No points for Nick that round. He stays at 10. Mubin scores 2 on the Secure Crisis and 1 on the Extract. He's at 13. 3 more points to win the game.
I've got priority. We're going into the power phase.
Nick's only got 2 heroes remaining. Black Widow gains 1 power to go to 4. Iron Man is at 10 and he's maxed out. Both are on their injured side. Red Skull is at 0 and is going to gain 2 power. Ultron's going to gain 1 to go to 2. And Winter Soldier is going to gain 2 to go to 7.
Let's start with Iron Man. He's gonna spend 4 of his 5 power to do the focused unibeam and laser into Red Skull.
7 dice. And Red Skull takes 4 damage and gains 4 power. 2 stamina remaining, but 6 power. Iron Man using Repulsor Mark II on Red Skull.
At least if I don't knock you out, I have a good chance of pushing away from objective.
Yeah.
So do it for me. And a critical 4. So I got ya.
No,
I got Red Skull.
Gets 2 power for that and KOs Red Skull.
I no longer have a leader either.
Yay!
I have 1 less activation now. This is looking pretty bad.
More importantly, I denied you scoring points on this objective.
We're gonna go with Ultron. He's tired of all this fighting. He's just gonna end this here. So he's gonna move, floats away medium.
Oh no, I see where this is going. Oh no!
Ultron moves away from Widow, moves again to pick up those 2 cube fragments, spending 2 power to do so.
And he ends his turn there.
It all comes down to Black Widow being a hero and taking down Ultron, because if I don't take out Ultron, you're gonna get 3 points to win the game right now.
Black Widow moves towards Ultron. She spends 4 power to do Deadly Origins with 7 dice.
If I get both a wild and a hit, she gets to attack again. Oh, I need really good dice. Critical allows me to get 1 more dice, which does become another critical.
Jarvis is nearby, so Iron Man uses 2 power to reroll 2 dice for Black Widow. Ultron takes 2 damage and gains 2 power. He's got 3 stamina remaining.
Wait!
Ooh.
It's not over. Because I rolled both a wild and a hit, she gets to hit you again. I get to do the shock baton. Before I do that, I actually get to advance medium, which puts me on the objective, contesting it. I get 5 dice, but because of the finisher here, I actually get to reroll everything in that attack, including skull result.
I've only got 4 dice here. Can you do it, Nick?
2. I'll reroll with her ability. So, and I go with Jarvis, and I spend a power for Iron Man. I can reroll this one, but I can't reroll the skull, unfortunately, and I only get 1.
1 damage. It's
1
not
damage.
enough. She tried.
She tried really hard and brought you down to 2 stamina remaining.
Nick will score 1 on the Secure Crisis to go to 6 there. No more Extract Crisis points. He's at 11. Mubin, however, scores 1 point on Secure Crisis to go to 6, and 3 on the Extract Crisis to go to 11. That's 17, and that is a victory for the bad guys.
Congratulations, Mubin.
Well played, Nick.
Thank you for teaching me. I enjoyed that quite a bit, and I think I've got a good understanding of this game now.
Congrats, Mubin. Well played, Nick, and what a fun game to play. Really hope everybody enjoyed watching us play Marvel Crisis Protocol, or as we call it, Play on Protocol.
I always have a lot of fun with MCP. There's so many things you could do, and the characters really feel like themselves.
We're planning a whole season.
It's a whole season of it, so there's gonna be way more episodes.
Tell us what factions you'd like to see as we dive into MCP, and if you're interested in playing this yourself.
Such a simple, fast, and easy game to play. Really love the back and forth mechanics. MCP is something we highly suggest you try out. Big thank you to our series sponsors, Tabletop Terrain and Baron of Dice. We had a ton of fun throwing their dice and the terrain as well. And of course, a great big thank you to all of you for watching. If you like what we do here, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Or if you really like it, please consider supporting us through YouTube membership or Patreon. You'll get exclusive releases as well as behind-the-scenes interviews, early access to most of our shows, and access to our Discord, where we've got some of the best discussions about your favorite games.
With that, we'll leave it there and say thank you for watching. Till we see you next time in the wide world of the Marvel Universe.
Play on.